easy to perform, by executing which a mortal will conquer unconquerable death. That means 8. Le Seigneur bienheureux dit, je te décrirai les principes de la dévotion à ma personne, dont la mise en pratique permet aux humains de vaincre l'invincible mort. So here, Hantake Taya Shishyami. Hanta, yes, and Kata Ishyami, I shall speak Kata. This is also Harikata. I shall speak. So Hanta also, when you say Hanta, means very joyful. Hanta, that also means joyful, or also means that to give mercy. So, and then when here it is say, Mama Dharmam Sumangalam. Mama Dharma Sumangalam. Dharma here is a religious principle, and Sumangalam most auspicious. But actually Dharma means Bhakti. And Bhakti, within Bhakti, Gyan, Karma, everything is included. Actually, to be called Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, means Bhakti must be there. Otherwise, it's not a yoga. Because by karma you cannot join Krishna, and by Jnana no, then also. But putting Bhakti inside, some Bhakti is inside, and then you can advance. You can see in Rishikesh, the people like Shivananda, the Shivananda ashram, very famous, one of the first popular ashram, at least among the West also. Then he was worshipping Manohar Krishna. Krishna playing flute, there's a beautiful painting there. He was worshipping, but in a way too, after that, you see he had some bhakti inside, but in order to get, the ultimate gyan, of Brahman realization, that to go over that. Because without that, how can you engage your senses, your mind, everything on what? On nothing. Or some light, No, this is, actually light, what is the meaning of light? When it's dark, then you put light. That's very nice. But you're going to stare at the light, or you're going to stare what's going on around. So the light means to stare at what is around, means bhakti. How much devotional service you can do for Krishna. All this material world is made for that. And we are made for him too. We are not made for something else. Of course, since time immemorial, there is a debate on what is the feature of the Lord. Is he personal or impersonal? The debate is there. So one impersonalist was passing in front of a temple, Vaishnava temple. He said, "What is all this nonsense?" So he wrote on the wall, "Soham." Soham, I am that. Je suis cela. Un personnaliste. So then he goes. Then a devotee comes and who is the rascal who made that? So he put da Soham. I am the servant of him. Later on, that impersonalist comes and says, da Soham? No. Sada Soham. Sada means always. So we are always him. And then devotee says, dasa. So like this, and the debate goes on, So, is it one, or is it two, or is it, impersonal, personal? Actually, it's both. Because the absolute is everything. So realization, even Rishabdev, he said in his teaching that we have to respect both impersonalities. Otherwise, Tamudvara, Sanghi Sangam, that if you offend any part, Tamu, you may go to some difficulty in your life because it's an offense also. Because they are spiritualists in one way. So of course we don't associate with them, we offer pranam or whatever, because they endeavor for renunciation, tapas, everything, something. How many people do that? So of course Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, they were fighting against Mayavadis. That's the difference. But Brahmavadis is something else. Brahmavadi means they want to be one with the Lord, merging with the Lord. But Mayavadi, they think they are God. Narayana. Naridhara Narayana. Prabhupada used to say, what Naridhara Narayana? As Narayana, he is married with Lakshmi Devi. How he can be Naridhara? No possible. So Bhakti is the main point. Without Bhakti, no yoga. Actually. Yoginam api sarvesham madhyate nattanantaram. Krishna, he said, the best of the yogis are those who worship. And in the 12th canto also, 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, they asked, Arjuna asked, what is the best way to worship you, as personal or impersonal? He said, personal, of course, but impersonal also, they do that, but very hard path, very difficult. Because Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurabha, when Bhaunam Janmanante, Yanavanam Prapadyate, after many, many births, these people, they will come to me anyhow. Because in the Brahman, what he would do in the Brahman, the soul is active, not inactive. So, and we are, as I said, we are made for him, we are made to actually to serve him, not just to be just in a state of unconsciousness or nothing, or nothingness or whatever. So that's the teaching of Krishna. So in that way, he said, easy to perform. I shall describe you Bhakti and Dhyan easy to perform. Because you need Dhyan. Why Krishna said, Tesham Satata Yuktanam, Dadami Bhugi, boy, he is going to give you some intelligence, means some knowledge, how to come to me, and how to know which Krishna you want to worship. How to worship him and which one you want to worship. Because the Lord is so many features like this in that way. So, text 9. Kuryat sarvani karmani mat artam sanaka smaram mayarpita manaschito mat dharmatma manorati. Always remembering me, one should perform all his duty for me as the cases arise. His consciousness should be fixed in person whose minds are dedicated to me, and his mind should be attracted to Bhakti. 9. Se souvenant toujours de moi, il s'agit d'accomplir tous ses devoirs pour moi, sans devenir impétueux. M'offrant son mental et son intelligence, il faut ancrer ses pensées dans l'attrait pour mon service de dévotion. Donc là, il y a Vishwa Chakravarti Thakur ajoute un petit plus. He's saying that so remembering me and performing duties for me, but also the consciousness should be fixed in person whose mind are dedicated to me. Means Gurudev, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Vaishnava. Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. That is the main things. Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. Hari, Guru, Vaishnava, Pada, Majariyana. Nama Sankirtana Kori. So this is, we will see always. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gupta, Hari Guru Vaishnava, Bhagavad Gita. So the scripture also, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So that's a little plus, because that translation from the ISKCON devotees, they say like this. Always perform duty. Yeah, actually, this translation here in French coming from this 11th canto. So, there's a commentary from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The Lord now describes both pure and mixed bhakti by uttering words with two meanings. One should perform all material action, such as brushing the teeth, and all spiritual actions, such as hearing and chanting for me. This is the first meaning. One should perform all varnashram action for me. This is the second meaning. His consciousness should be fixed in person whose mind are dedicated to me. Maya yarpita manas chitta. Here it is mentioned. Maya yarpita manas chitta. This means that he is attached to my devotees. His mind, atmamana, is attracted to bhakti. Mad-dharma. Mamara Baba Bhakto, Matyaji Manama. Krishna is saying, you become my devotee. So someone other you have to start somewhere. Maybe by Varnashram and become pious, establish yourself more in sadhvic ways. It's progressive. Start somewhere. Like this. So this is also considered as type of karma mishra bhakti. Or Aropa Mishra Bhakti, that looks like Bhakti. To come at one point, Shuddha Bhakti. That's how it goes. So here they say that the word Madharmanan Manorati means that that all of one's love and affection should be devoted to pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not indicated here that one should try to relish selfish satisfaction in devotional service, but rather that one should be attracted to the Lord's own satisfaction, which one achieved by faithful executing the order of a bona fide spiritual master coming in a disciplic subscription from Krishna himself. Attachment to one's own satisfaction, even within devotional service, is materialistic, whereas attachment to the satisfaction of the Lord is pure spiritual emotion. That's why spiritual master is important in that way. He will purify by his instruction and his blessing. He will purify our hearts of all these attachment, offenses, anarthas, and all the bad character and all the stuff we have in the heart. The heart sometimes is compared as a piece of coal, black. Prabhupada used to say, "How can you wash coal? More you wash, more it's black." So the way you have to know how to do it. But if you put in a fire of bhakti, of sankirtan, then the coal becomes red, beautiful, shining like that. So that's one way. This morning I was like this verse of Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bhavanam Yogi Dadatikamam. This is a verse of Upanishad that said that Nityo Nityanam, amongst all the eternal, one is eternal, most eternal. And among all the conscious, one is supreme conscious. Eko Bhavanam Yogi Dadatikamam. And that one is supporting and giving shelter, nourishing everybody. So Nityo Nityanam, actually, Lord Nityananda is, because he's Akanda Guru Tattva, he's the original Guru. So he's giving that opportunity to the conditioned soul to get out of conditioned life and back to the Nitya life, the eternal life. of devotional service. And that, for that, what he is doing, he is giving that Chaitanya. He is giving that consciousness, that same consciousness, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya. Mahaprabhu is accepting in that way all the fallen souls, regard any type of souls, because souls are pure, but they are covered by so many material designation and foolishness, craziness, and so like this. So by giving them actually what he has in his heart, Krishna Prem, but also this Krishna Prem through Gopi Prem, through Radha Prem, because that's what he's testing. So the highest test you can have is through Gopi Prem, means Radha Prem, ultimately. That's why the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, this is the means of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, to point out, you test everything through Radha Dasyam, through all our parampara, and that all the Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees here, they come for giving that, pointing out the direction. You follow the example of the gopis. Because themselves they left everything, this material world, just for the pleasure of Krishna. Justyajam, Swajanam, Aryapata, Idva, Chaitva. This is the verse. Uddhava, he said that realization after he has been going to the school of the gopis, after Krishna sent him there, because he is a jnani, but he cannot understand why Krishna is crying sometimes, why he feels separation. So he said, okay, go there to understand all these things. So he went to Vrindavan, met all the devotees, and met Yashoda, Nanda. I said, wow, what a friend. But when he came to the gopis, so he said, Asamaho charana arenu jusa maham shyam sadustyajam swajanam haryapata chaitva. He said that, what the gopis, they have rejected everything. Sadustyajam, what something is very difficult to reject. Swajanam, all the family attachment, all the friends, everything, And Aryapata, all the path of Vedas. Vedas, they recommend this, that, especially for ladies, to be chaste, you have to serve a husband, family, this, that, and like this, They rejected everything, No matter, whatever the people will say, whatever, everything, they reject everything, Veju Mukunda Padavin, why? Because they wanted to associate with the Lord, who has called for help. The flute was to bring them because he said help. Actually, Krishna is like this. You need this devotee. You cannot live without devotees. That's impossible. So no question of Brahman realization or Paramatma realization, because Paramatma is same. You cannot have any relation with Paramatma. You can just meditate, see his beautiful form like this, it's really in your heart, but no seva, no relation. Bhakti means is relational, is relation. Heart to heart. Bhakti means that, heart to heart. So heart of the individual soul with the Lord. So text 10. So the idea is Bhakti is made ultimately. Of course, when you come to Bhakti, you relish, because you come from the material world. It's like somebody who is suffocating. You give him oxygen. Wow. He enjoys the way of being able to breathe fresh oxygen like that. Or somebody who middle ocean, and you can, and somebody boat come and bringing out, oh my God, it's so good, or somebody is hungry, then you will, first food, so good, like, first you enjoy it. That's a natural, because you're coming from so much suffering. So the first thing you will have some, enjoy because we have this enjoying spirit. So generally when we come to Krishna consciousness, seeing all the things, we enjoy the atmosphere, the friendship of the devotees, prasad, the deities, dancing, chanting, that's what Prabhupada, he say, come, dance, chant, and be happy, take prasad, come enjoy. Then after, we start to, when enjoyment, when we become satisfied, then you say, oh, no, maybe some seva could be done for that, because I'm taking, but how can I give also, So purification has to be, it's progressive like that, So when the people come, yes, enjoy, we help them to enjoy Krishna consciousness, to see the difference between what is in the material world and what is the spiritual world. We cannot be that they come and say, you should not enjoy this, and it is not like this, Prabhupada like this. Be happy, enjoy, take prasad, more prasad, until you speak, means you can hit, like that, until the neck, complete. Prasad will purify everything. Then we will come to our own senses, to our good consciousness, Krishna consciousness, so nothing to do, but we should be like this, open mind, not narrow-minded, because narrow-minded means dukkha, open-minded means sukham, open, sukham, ka means space, su means big place, big space, and du means close, so that's important, so therefore the spiritual master is like this, he said yes, enjoy, like this first. Not hard austerity and difficulties and like that, because the austerity will come after. The difficulty will come after. When you come, then first get Shraddha, then after you associate with devotees, sadhu, this, that, and bhajana kriya. Nice, but anartha nivritti starting. That is the thing. That's a big psychological fight, with the mind. All the things are there. Asat Trishna, Hridaya Dolvalya, Aparad, Sarubhram, all these things, coming. So that's the charnière. Comment on va dire en anglais?
Key point. Like,
C'est difficile, hein?
Un passage clé.
Passage clé, yeah. Un passage clé means key.
A key point.
Key point, anartha nivritti, to come to Nishta. That's a very difficult time. Many devotees are difficult to pass through that. You need good association like that, and have a Vaishnavas Sangha. This is so important for them. To relax the fight inside, internal fight. Really. When you come, then fight will go, but it's not the most important. That in anartha nivritti, this is the most important. We are really on that, So much turmoil going and like this, difficulties. Because so many life, we are carrying all these things with us, So, so that's why the Maharaj, the Kinkara and Damodar Maharaj was there. Be happy, and like that. That was his mood. Don't be stiff and like that. Enjoy, dance, like
Relax.
Huh?
Is chant and relax.
Yeah.
Can I is chant and cry, or chant and be happy? We did it. Chant and relax.
Yeah, chant and relax.
Chanting will do everything.
Yeah. Indeed, it's good, because we have, We have that, although we're touching our brain so much, you know. So that's why you say we have to, you know, laugh, have some good time, you know. Generally, the acharyas, you know, they have good humors.
Mm.
They have good, they like to have jokes, and Prabhupada is like that. Or I know Govardhana Maharaj, Narayan Maharaj, as far as I know, you know. Even Bhakti Maharaj also like that. He came here also, you know, very nice mood, and like to have a good way, you know.
Simple.
They like relation, you know, that's the point, you know, not just like this, you know, all the time, you know, to devotee, you know, like that, you know. This is Aishwarya, you know, we come to Madhurya, you know, means really friendship,
Right.
and that, you know. Of course, with respect, we have to keep that, you know. We know our position and their position, and that. But they want also that type of association, you know, very nice, you know. Once Prabhupada was in the Kumbh Mela, and then they have a camp. All the devotees were doing arena, all everywhere, you know, chanting. So Prabhupada sent them every day, big arena. Then one devotee came from Bihar, and he's born Vaishnava family. He has learned Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. He knew all. So he saw that, wow, this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, you know, they are spreading all over the teaching of Mahaprabhu. He said, I must see this Bhaktivedanta Swami. Well, he went there. Then he arrived at the camp, and he looked everywhere, they're empty, you know. Then he saw an old man there sitting in the sun. So he come to him, he said, do you know where is Bhaktivedanta Swami? So the old man, he said, what do you want from him? He said, no, I want to meet him, you know, he's glorious what he's doing, you know, preaching all over the world. Who understands? Who could have imagined this, you know? So he said, but what he's doing actually, so this man, old man, he said, but what he has done? He said, well, he has spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching. He said, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He said, you don't know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He's the Supreme Lord. Said, no, he's not the Supreme Lord. Well, what you got talking about? He's Krishna himself. And you know, how can you say that? What is the proof? You know, like that. And they argue and this and that. At one point, you know, he said, you old man, shut your mouth. You know, you don't know anything. Like this. Like this. And that, you know, few seconds later, all the devotees came back. They all do Dandavat in front of Srila Prabhupada. So you know what's happening? He said, and Prabhupada was enjoying and laughing like anything, and the class he gave after. He said, I enjoyed, you know. Finally somebody told me, old man, shut your mouth. Like that, was so happy. So he initiated him, gave him sadhana, everything. This is Radha Govinda Swami. One of the devotee Prabhupada said that he should initiate. You know, just before he left, actually, he came with his disciple, not his disciple, but with all the devotees he made from Bihar and so he came to Prabhupada, he said, I bring all the, he said, no, it's yours. You are the like that, just before he left. Like that. So there was, and Govinda Maharaj also gave a letter, he said, you should initiate. Because the pure devotee, you know, Vishwa Chakravarti Thakur, he said, when the pure devotee comes, he comes to get few souls, special souls back home. You see all the Vaishnava, few souls they have come and to deliver them. And then all the others who came around, then they got all the Sukriti and started their Krishna consciousness path and like this. And later on, also some special soul will come to deliver them and so on. It goes like that. So Prabhupada, you know, he cannot come and don't make any pure devotees. A pure devotee make pure devotees. You know, like a teacher. The teacher, when he teaches, he doesn't make students. He makes teachers. So when Guru comes, what he's doing? He's making Guru also. So among them, some will be definitely recognized in that way. You know. So let's finish with that verse. Also, yeah. Desham punyam ashrayeta madbhaktei sadhubi shritam. Devashura manusyeshu madbhakta charita nicha. One should take shelter of holy places where my saintly devotees reside, and one should be guided by the exemplary activities of my devotees, who appear amongst the demigods, demons, and human beings. Prahlad Maharaj appear amongst the demons, Narada Muni, Prahlad among the demons, Narada Muni, demons, human beings also, so many wonderful Vaishnavas. Purport: Narada Muni is one of the greatest devotees of the Lord, who appeared amongst the demigods. I will say in French first. Il faut prendre refuge des lieux saints et suivre l'exemple de mes saints dévots qui y résident, eux qui apparaissent parmi les dévas, les asuras et les êtres humains. Vishwa Chakravarti Thakur. Yes. Yes, said. Commentary. In pure bhakti, the method of Vedi and Raganuga are indicated by giving two interpretations. One should live in places like Dwarka. One should follow after the activities of the devotees among the Devatas, Narada, among the demons, Prahlad, and amongst humans, Ambarish Maharaj, for example. This indicates Vedi Bhakti. One should live in Gokul Vrindavan or Govardhan and follow after the activities of Chandrakanti, Vrinda, and the Gopis. This indicates Raganuga Bhakti. Il y a une petite note de bas de page. Chandrakanti was the daughter of Gandharva. Vrinda was the wife of a demon named Jalandhara in one pastime on earth. Perhaps this is the connection of Vrinda with the demons. I don't know. So that is it. Anyway, that's an interesting commentary of Vishwa Chakravarti Thakur. Vedi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti. So according to your desire. Actually, this is the thing. If we don't follow the parika of Krishna in Vrindavan, then we will not be in Vrindavan. That's the thing. If we don't have the desire to follow in the footsteps of Gaudiya Acharyas for Radha Dasyam, then we cannot be in Vrindavan. We will be in Dwarka, Mathura, Dwarka, whatever. You know. Or Parikar means all the gopis, or Yashoda in parental, or the Sakyas, Shubal, Arjun, Sridham, and so on. Or the servant. Actually, there's no servant no servant of Krishna. Krishna has no dasa, really. The servant, they are engaged by Yashoda and Nanda and so on to serve Krishna. But Krishna himself has no servant. He has Sakya, he has friends more like this. You know? These three men, rasa, are prominent in Vrindavan. Even the cows, everything is, you know, they are special relationship with Krishna. Yeah. So we could say so much things on this verse, Raganuga Bhakti, Vedi Bhakti, but we are limited, and let's see what they say here. Narada Muni, one of the greatest devotees of the Lord, who appear among the demigods. Prahlad appear among the demons, and many other great devotees as Ambarish Maharaj and the Pandavas appear among human beings. One should take shelter of the devotees, exemplary activities, and also the holy places where devotees reside. Thus, one will remain safe on the path of devotional service. Yes. So therefore, that's why we have opened this place, this temple, because it becomes a holy place.
Mm.
The Lord is there, the devotees are there, Kirtan and Harikatha, everything. This is like a small oasis among the desert of material life, So it's important to keep that alive, someone or another. This is our seva. Greatest seva we can do, to give opportunity to people to come and take shelter. This is Nityananda, blissful, what he likes the best. Nityananda see when all the devotees are endeavoring to, this is good. They came for that, So this is a seva, great seva also. Okay. So important that the devotee understand that point. Everybody who is living here around who is devoted to that place, like that someone, I don't know, to seva, like they should understand that it's a very important seva. Any seva, even washing the floor, anything. Bhakti is that please very much Nityananda, therefore it please all Guru Parampara. All Guru Parampara. And if we please the Lord, then we will be pleased. Yes. And if we are pleased, then we are joyful. And if we are joyful, we know where to go return to this material world. This vomit. That's the reason. But anyhow, even if we do that, the Guru is so merciful, he will take back. He will clean the vomit and take you back. Like the mother, Mother, she has a child on her laps, he passing stool, he passing urine, all these things, she doesn't complain. Pet him and give love. That's all. Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Go. Yeah, don't take up back Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.